So here we are, interview number 6. I have Sophie Johnson with me. Thanks for joining us, Sophie. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, so I'm Sophie, and I've just graduated from the Northern School of Art. I'm a language feminist based artist, I would describe myself as. Um, my work is all about language and uh, finding. I like to explore women through literature, really. So at the moment, I'm really inspired by Sylvia Plath. So I kind of combine that into my paintings and that sort of thing. That's sort of what I've developed at the moment. So that's where it's heading at the moment.
And is that a style that, do you feel like you developed this style while you're at Northern School of Art, or does this kind of come from, a previous interest in literature?
I've always been interested by literature. Even when I was a kid, like just if I read something, like I love how language can make you feel. And I remember being at school and reading Shakespeare and reading. I had a really good teacher and we were reading like war poetry. And I remember just being like, there's just bits that I could cry at, and I loved how it made me feel. And it was definitely in the last year that I've sort of developed it. I think the first 2 years I was really trying to find what I was doing. I mean, you see it, I was working with embroidery, all sorts of things, and then something just clicked. It just all fit into place, and I was looking at women, like American abstract movement, and I was looking at the women that don't necessarily get remembered for being in that, and it was just these women that were doing exactly like Jackson Pollock and stuff like that, but they're the lesser people that are remembered for it. But like Pearl Fine, like her brush strokes and the colours that she uses, I'm proper inspired by that. Sorry, I think I'm going off topic, but yeah, it was
Oh,
like the
this
last
is
year
good.
I've sort of developed my own style. Initially, I was using um, fabric, and it just wasn't clicking. I think you've seen it. It just wasn't. It wasn't what I wanted to do, and it was just when I started to read. I've got a book. It was the journals of Sylvia Plath, because I adore her. She's my favorite poet, and I was reading through all of her journals, and it's amazing. And like even her journals, even stuff that she hasn't published, it's amazing to explore her through that. And I think it's quite relatable, especially mental health and everything. And even the text that I was using during isolation, it was very like relatable. So yeah, it's just something that I've always been interested in, and it's only the past year that I've sort of discovered and found my what I wanted to do, really.
So was there ever a decision for you to make on whether to go and study fine art or something like literature?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think literature was just. I never thought I was good enough to do literature. Like, I enjoy writing, but I think doing literature, going to school to do literature, I think would take the fun out of it. I think I would lose what I love about it. I can't write poetry. I can't do it, and I've tried. I just can't. So what I do is I look at other people's work, and I can sort of take it as my own. I'm not, I don't pick out an entire thing. It's just bits of what other people have used, and I kind of interpret it a different way and present it in a way that you don't know where it's come from, sort of. But no, um, I think even when I was trying to I think when I did an access course to get into uni, and even then it was text. I was just so interested in text and how people read it and what came across, and I like the macabre and I like the sentimentality of language, and that's what really interests me.
Well, I think you use it really well in your work. You know, I'm a big fan of the stuff you're making at the moment. Um, so, what's next for you now you've graduated from the Northern School of Art? What have you got in the pipeline? What things are you working on?
I am doing my PGCE in September at Teesside Uni, and then hopefully I'll be, I can go and um, teach. But I don't know. I feel like I've finished now, and you kind of don't have that. I'm on my own now. Do you know what I mean? I have to produce all this work that I don't have people telling me, that's great, that's not great, change this, which is, it's a breath of fresh air, but at the same time, it's scary to have to rely on my own process, really. So I've stopped a little bit, but I am going back to it. The thing is, I want to get a studio over summer and try and do some work. So I don't know, I've just kind of took a break from it all and then hopefully go back to it.
We've got you coming up at Pineapple Black some point this year in our window. How do you feel about that exhibition?
I'm so excited, especially because obviously with everything that's going on, my show was cancelled, so we didn't have an Indie show. So I'm so excited. I'm just so excited for people to see what I've been doing, and I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm excited for people to see it. I think, when you're showing at uni, it's great, but it's parents, isn't it? Like coming to see your work. But with doing Pineapple Black, it's like I get people that are really involved in the scene and really just enjoy going to look at people's art and see what's going on. So I'm really excited.
I think now with everything that's going on with COVID-19, that window gallery we've got is going to be even more important because a lot of people aren't going to be popping in places or stopping by the gallery to have a browse, and that window gallery is kind of our opportunity to kind of reach people with art, whether they like it or not. So, yeah, I'm really excited about the program we've got for that window. So, yeah, just coming on to lockdown, how do you feel lockdown has affected you as a creative? Have you felt, a lot of artists I've spoke to have found it quite cathartic. I've got a lot of work made. What about you? How has lockdown affected you, if at all?
I think it's forced me to work smaller, which is something that I'm not quite comfortable with. With doing the whole process of my work, I've realised that the bigger the canvas, the better, and it's just how I work. So it's obviously being at home, I've had to sort of go smaller and it's given me time to kind of work on my paintings, but I haven't enjoyed working smaller. I'd want to be in a studio and I want to be making a mess and working bigger. So that it's kind of let me realize, what I prefer and how I want to work. But apart from that, I haven't enjoyed trying to, work from home and paint at home. It's just I need bigger space, really. So yeah, it's been all right. I've made a few discoveries, but all in all, it's just made me realize I just want to get back to normal and want to continue with my practice.
Well, yeah, I agree that I can't wait to get back to normal. But it's been lovely speaking to you today. It's been a little slice of normality for me.
And
And I can't wait to see what happens when you get back to working on the skill that you like working on. For anybody watching, Sophie Johnston's really interesting artist. Watch out for her in the Pineapple Black window space later this year. Thank you, Sophie, and
thank you.
I'll catch you later.
See you later. Thank
Bye.
you.
Hurrah.